The alien army laughed. They said it was only human students. They thought this would be easy. Far from Earth, near the edge of a quiet star sector, a group of human cadets were running a live space. Training exercise. Their ships were smaller than full war cruisers, but advanced and fast. Each cadet had trained for years at the academy, learning strategy, discipline, and survival. This was supposed to be their final exam. Captain Arya Cole stood on the bridge of the lead cadet ship. Her uniform was clean, her hands steady, but her heart beat fast. This was her first time leading a formation in open space. Around her, 10 cadet vessels moved in careful formation, practicing defense patterns and communication drills. An instructor command ship watched from far behind, hidden beyond sensor range. The instructors did not interfere, they only observed. Arya focused on the tactical display. "Run formation Delta," she said calmly. The cadet ships shifted into a defensive circle, their engines glowing softly against the darkness. Everything was controlled. Everything was planned. Until the long-range radar changed. Unknown contacts entering sector. The room grew quiet. "How many?" Arya asked. "5 large vessels," the sensor officer replied. Arya felt a strange tension in the air. Those were not Academy ships. "Open identification channel," she ordered. Before the signal could be sent, a powerful energy pulse swept across the area. Communications disrupted. The unknown ships moved closer, revealing dark armored hulls marked with the symbol of the Vorlax Empire, an aggressive alien power known for testing weaker species. On the bridge of the alien flagship, Commander Track studied the human ships on his display. "These are their warriors?" he asked. A subordinate answered. "Scanning data shows they are Academy vessels crewed by trainees." Track gave a low laugh. "Children." He opened a wide transmission channel. "Human cadets, you are operating in restricted space power. Down your systems and prepare to be boarded." Arya heard the message, her jaw tightened. "This sector belongs to neutral treaty space," she replied, trying to keep her voice steady. Track smiled. "Then consider this a lesson." Without further warning, one alien cruiser fired a warning blast that passed close to one cadet ship. The shockwave pushed it off course. Panic spread across the cadet formation. "Hold positions," Arya commanded, her voice stronger now. The cadets steadied their ships. "Activate defensive grid level 1. A faint energy barrier formed between the cadet ships, linking them in a shared shield network. On the alien flagship, confusion flickered. "They have defensive systems active." Track narrowed his eyes. "Test their strength." Another alien cruiser fired, this time directly at the center of the formation. The blast hit the shared shield and flared bright blue, but the human grid held. "Damage minimal," reported the cadet engineer. Arya felt fear, but also something else. Clarity. This was no longer training. This was real. She opened internal channel to all cadet ships. "Listen carefully. We trained for unexpected scenarios. This is one of them. Stay calm, follow formation, and trust your systems." Around her, the young officers straightened in their seats. The alien fleet began moving into attack positions, confident that numbers alone would crush inexperienced humans. But the cadets were not helpless. Hidden within their training software were real combat algorithms designed to test advanced tactics. Arya studied the asteroid field nearby and made a decision. "Prepare maneuver Echo." The cadet ships broke formation and accelerated toward the asteroid belt. On the alien bridge, laughter echoed again. "They are running." Track leaned back, certain of victory. "Pursue them," he ordered. What he did not know was that the Academy had designed this sector carefully, and the students he mocked were about to give him a lesson he would never forget. The alien commander believed the humans were afraid. He believed the cadets were running. He was wrong. The human ships entered the asteroid field in perfect control. Large rocks drifted slowly in every direction, spinning in silence. Some were small like debris, others were massive like silent mountains. Inside her ship, Arya felt the tension rising, but her voice stayed calm. "Activate maneuver Echo Phase 2. The cadet ships split into smaller pairs, weaving between the asteroids, using them as cover. Their engines lowered output to reduce heat signature. On the alien flagship, Commander Track frowned. "They are hiding among rocks." "Scan deeper," he ordered. Alien sensor beams swept across the field, but the asteroids were rich in minerals, causing heavy interference. Targeting systems began to flicker. Track grew impatient. Move forward and flush them out. The alien cruisers entered the asteroid field confidently, their larger ships pushing aside smaller rocks with shield bursts. Suddenly, one alien ship shook violently. Warning energy spike detected. Before the crew could react, a concentrated blast hit its engines from behind an asteroid. The ship spun out of control, colliding with a floating rock. On the human command channel, Arya spoke clearly. Target engines only disabled, do not destroy. The cadets followed her instructions precisely. Each pair used the environment like a shield and a weapon, firing quick controlled shots, then vanishing behind spinning stone. This was no panic retreat. This was controlled movement. On the alien bridge, confusion turned to irritation. They're striking from blind spots. Track slammed his fist on the console. Titan formation and fire in all directions. Alien ships unleashed heavy firepower, blasting apart asteroids, filling space with debris, but this only made the field denser, creating more cover for the smaller, faster human vessels. Inside her cockpit, Cadet Ryan reported. 2 alien cruisers damaged, 1 drifting, 1 losing shields. Arya adjusted strategy. Activate drone swarm. Small training drones launched from the cadet ships. They were meant for simulation scoring, but their hardware was real. The drones spread across the asteroid field, transmitting false signals, jamming alien targeting systems even further. On the alien flagship, warning alarms increased. Multiple phantom contacts. Targeting errors. Navigation disrupted. Track felt something new. Doubt. How are students executing coordinated warfare? He ordered boarding assault teams, prepare intercept ships. Small alien assault craft detached from the cruisers, racing through the asteroid field toward the human vessels. Arya saw them coming. Prepare countergrid. As the alien boarding craft closed distance, hidden emitters activated across several asteroids. A sudden gravitational pulse rippled through space. The smaller alien craft lost stability, engines stalled, navigation systems overloaded. Several spun out, crashing into rocks. Others drifted powerless. The cadets did not cheer. They stayed focused. Arya opened a channel to her formation. Remember, our training, stayed disciplined. We control the pace. Far behind the asteroid field, the hidden instructor command ship observed everything. The senior instructor watched silently as reports streamed in. Cadets maintaining formation. Enemy ships disabled. 0 human losses. He did not interfere. This was their test. Back in the asteroid, Chaos, 1 alien cruiser attempted to break free of the field, only to find its engine core locked by targeted human fire. Its shields flickered and collapsed. Track stared at the growing damage list. This was supposed to be intimidation. Instead, his fleet was losing control to Academy trainees. Anger replaced confidence. Charge main weapons, prepare full bombardment of the asteroid field. On her bridge, Arya saw the power surge building on the alien flagship. If they fired at full strength, the entire field would explode, taking both sides with it. She took a slow breath. Then she made a decision that would change everything. Prepare Phase 3. And for the first time, the alien commander began to realize. The humans were not improvising. They were leading the fight. The alien flagship began charging its main weapons. Energy gathered across its hull, glowing deep red. If it fired, the entire asteroid field would shatter. Human ships would be caught in the blast. Arya watched the power levels rising on her screen. She knew they had only seconds. All cadets, prepare Phase 3 now. The human ships suddenly stopped moving. Their engines went silent. Their heat signatures dropped to almost 0. They became shadows between the rocks. On the alien bridge, Commander Track smiled. They have given up. Fire. The massive cannon released a blinding beam that tore through the asteroid field. Rocks exploded into fragments. Dust clouds filled space. For a moment, it looked like total destruction, but the beam had struck empty paths. Arya had predicted the firing angle. She had calculated it the moment the energy spike began. As the debris settled, human ships powered up again. They had shifted positions just before the blast using micro-thrusters hidden within the asteroids. The alien commander stared in disbelief. How did they know? Before he could react, warning alarm screamed. Unknown objects approaching. From within the drifting debris, dozens of small metallic shapes accelerated toward the alien fleet. They were not missiles. They were training pods. But inside them were compact electromagnetic disruptors. The pods attached themselves to alien hulls and detonated pulses. Not explosive force, but system disruption. Alien shields flickered and collapsed. Navigation systems failed. Weapon targeting went dark. On the human command channel, Arya spoke calmly. Disable primary systems. Focus on flagship. The cadet ships moved as one. They broke from cover and formed a sharp arrow formation heading directly toward the alien command ship. Their small ships looked insignificant compared to the massive cruiser. But they moved with perfect timing. Track felt control slipping away. Restore shields. Reroute power. Fire secondary batteries. But each command came too late. Human shots targeted precise weak points exposed by the disrupted shields. Engine ports. Sensor arrays. Communication nodes. The alien flagship shuddered. Its weapons powered down. Its engines stalled. It drifted slowly, unable to maneuver. The remaining alien ships attempted to regroup. But without central coordination, their formation collapsed. Two cruisers collided while trying to avoid debris. Another tried to jump to hyperspace, but its drive failed under system damage. Arya kept her voice steady. Do not destroy them. Repeat, do not destroy. This was still training. But now it was also a message. Inside the alien flagship, smoke filled corridors. Officers shouted conflicting orders. Track gripped his command rail. They are cadets. This is impossible. His tactical officer looked at him with fear. Sir, their fire control is beyond standard academy level. Track realized something painful. These are not random students. They were the future officers of a species that trained for war even during peace. Back in the asteroid field, the cadet formation surrounded the crippled flagship. Weapons locked, but not firing. Arya opened a direct channel. Alien commander, your ships are disabled, your engines offline, your weapons neutralized. You have two options. Power down and withdraw, or escalate and face destruction. Silence answered her. For a long moment, nothing moved. The alien fleet floated broken and surrounded by ships half their size. Inside the instructor command vessel, the senior officer watched carefully. The cadets had gained full tactical control. But the real test was coming. On the alien flagship, Track looked at the damage reports. Full combat capability lost. No shield strength. Boarding risk imminent. He had underestimated children, and now his entire fleet was trapped. Slowly, he looked at his communications officer. Open channel, and the galaxy waited to see what the alien commander would say next. The alien commander stared at the human formation around him. His ships were damaged. His engines silent. His pride wounded. Open channel, he repeated. Arya watched the signal request appear on her screen. She nodded slowly. Patch it through. The image of Commander Track appeared, his face tense, his voice no longer filled with mockery. Human cadet leader, you have demonstrated unexpected capability. Unexpected, Arya replied calmly. You attacked a training sector. Track ignored the statement. Release our ships, and we will withdraw. Arya studied the tactical map. The alien vessels were still armed, though disabled. She knew one wrong decision could restart the battle. Power down all remaining weapons, she said. Prove your intent. Inside the alien flagship, officers hesitated. Track felt the eyes of his crew on him. For the first time in years, he had no advantage. He gave the order. Power down. One by one, alien weapon systems went offline. On the cadet display, the red targeting indicators faded. Arya kept her voice steady. Transmit surrender code. The word hung in space. Surrender. On the alien bridge, silence grew heavy. They had never surrendered to anyone. Certainly not to students. But their situation was clear. Track closed his eyes briefly. Transmit code. A signal pulsed outward across open frequencies. An official admission of defeat. In the asteroid field, the human cadets saw it. Confirmation of surrender. A few of them exhaled for the first time since the battle began. But Arya did not celebrate. Secure their ships and hold defensive posture, she ordered. This is not over. Far beyond sensor range, a new presence entered the edge of the system. Massive gravitational readings appeared suddenly. The hidden instructor command ship detected it first. A second alien fleet had arrived. Not as large as the first, but heavily armed. They had followed the distress call of Commander Track. On Arya Bridge, the sensor officer spoke quietly. Multiple warp signatures emerging. Her heart tightened. She had expected reinforcements. The damaged alien fleet inside the asteroid field also detected the new arrivals. Hope flickered in some of their eyes. But the new fleet slowed as soon as it scanned the battlefield. They saw their crippled ships. They saw human cadets holding perfect formation. And then something else appeared on their sensors. Far behind the cadets, beyond the asteroid belt, deep in open space. A new signature. Larger, stronger, more powerful than anything yet seen. Space rippled, and out of hyperspace emerged 3 massive human warships. Full-scale Earth battle cruisers. Their hulls dark, their weapons charged. They did not fire. They simply arrived. On the alien reinforcement, flagship panic spread. Human main, fleet present. Power readings extreme. Arya stared at the new arrivals. Earth Command had been watching. They had allowed the cadets to handle the first contact, but they would not risk escalation. A calm voice echoed across open space. This is Earth Defense Fleet. Alien forces, you are in violation of neutral treaty space. Stand down immediately. The reinforcements hesitated. They had arrived expecting to rescue their commander. Instead, they found him defeated by cadets, and now faced the real human navy. Track listened to the Earth transmission and understood fully. If he continued resistance, his entire force would be erased. Slowly, he spoke again to Arya. We confirm surrender. The reinforcement fleet powered down weapons. The battlefield fell silent. Human cadets had not only survived, they had forced an alien army to raise the white flag. And now the entire system watched in stunned disbelief. Arya finally allowed herself one slow breath. But deep inside, she knew something important had changed. The galaxy would never see human students the same way again. The battlefield was silent, but the tension had not faded. Alien ships drifted powerless among the broken asteroids. Human cadets held formation steady and alert. Behind them, the 3 massive Earth battle cruisers remained like silent guardians. Arya stood on her bridge, watching the surrender codes repeat across her screen. She felt pride, but also pressure. This moment would be remembered. Earth Command opened a secure channel directly to her ship. Cadet Captain Arya Cole, report status. She straightened her posture. Enemy fleet disabled, surrender confirmed, no human losses, minor hull damage only. There was a short pause. Well executed, came the calm reply. But the situation is not finished. Arya listened carefully. Intelligence confirms the Vorlax Empire will not accept humiliation easily. Their High Council will demand explanation, and possibly retaliation. She understood. Today it was a victory, but it was also a warning. In the alien flagship, Commander Track faced his officers. Their faces showed anger and shame. Some wanted revenge. Others feared the human fleet waiting nearby. Track made a choice. Prepare formal surrender documentation. We will comply with Earth Command. This was not weakness. This was survival. Outside the asteroid field, Earth cruisers transmitted scanning beams across every alien vessel, ensuring no hidden weapons remained active. Human Marines did not board. They did not need to. Control had already been established. On Alliance communication networks, news spread quickly. Human cadets defeat alien strike force. Training exercise turns into decisive victory. Other species replayed battle footage in disbelief. Students had outmaneuvered experienced commanders. Young officers had controlled a live battlefield. Far away within the Vorlax Empire, high council chambers filled with heated voices. Their military reputation had been shattered, defeated by cadets. The word echoed painfully. Some council members demanded a full war declaration against Earth. Others reviewed sensor data carefully. 3 Earth cruisers had appeared instantly. Power readings exceeded known limits, and those were only support ships. The council realized something troubling. If students fought like this, what would the full human navy do? Back in the asteroid field, Arya ordered rescue teams to assist damaged alien ships. Provide medical assistance if needed, she said. Her officers hesitated. They attacked us. She nodded. We defend. We do not destroy the helpless. This decision surprised even the Earth commanders observing, but it carried weight. Human Marines launched small shuttles delivering emergency repair kits and medical aid. Alien crews watched in confusion. Their enemy was helping them. Commander Track observed this silently. He understood now why humans were dangerous, not only because of weapons, but because of discipline and principle. Hours later, surrender protocols were completed. Alien ships were allowed to depart under escort. No cheers followed. No victory parade. Only quiet professionalism. As the last Vorlax vessel jumped to hyperspace, Arya finally relaxed in her command chair. Her hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but from the weight of responsibility. Earth Command spoke once more. Cadet Captain, you and your unit have demonstrated combat readiness beyond expectation. Your performance will be recorded in Academy history. Arya answered softly. We only followed our training. The senior instructor aboard the hidden command ship finally allowed himself a small smile. This exercise had been designed to test adaptability. No one had expected a real alien incursion. Yet the cadets had not broken. They had adapted. In deep space, the Earth battle cruisers prepared to return home. Before leaving, one final message was broadcast across open channels. This sector remains protected. Respect its borders. The message was simple, clear, and impossible to misunderstand. And somewhere inside the Vorlax Empire, leaders began rewriting their assessment of humanity. Because if this was only training, then the galaxy had just witnessed something far more powerful than victory. It had witnessed potential. The stars returned to their quiet glow. The asteroid field drifted slowly again as if nothing had happened. But the galaxy knew something had changed. Arya stood on the bridge of her ship, looking at the empty space where the alien fleet had vanished. The adrenaline was fading, but the meaning of what they had done was only beginning. Earth battle cruisers prepared for departure, their massive forms turning slowly toward home. Before leaving, one of the cruisers opened a secure channel to the cadets. This is Earth Defense Command. Cadets, you have completed your final examination. Arya blinked in surprise. Final examination. Yes, the voice continued. Your response under real threat has been evaluated. You are no longer trainees. You are commissioned officers of the United Earth Fleet. Silence filled the bridge. Some cadets stared at their screens, unable to speak. Others lowered their heads, tried to control their emotions. Arya felt the weight of the new title settle on her shoulders. Officer. It felt heavier than cadet. In distant Vorlax territory, Commander Track returned to his capital world. His report played before the Imperial Council. They watched footage of small human ships moving with discipline and control. They watched their own fleet crumble. They watched the white flag code transmitted. Anger filled the chamber. But beneath the anger was caution. Track spoke clearly. We attacked their students, and their students defeated us. If we attack their full navy, we may not survive. The council fell into uneasy silence. For the first time, the Vorlax Empire chose restraint. No new fleets were mobilized. No revenge strikes ordered. Instead, new diplomatic channels were quietly opened toward Earth. Back near the neutral sector, Arya received a final message from Earth Command. Return to Academy orbit. There will be debriefing and ceremony. Her ships aligned in formation, engines charging for hyperspace. As they prepared to jump, she looked one last time at the battlefield. Asteroids still scarred. Debris slowly drifting. A reminder. This had started as a simple exercise. It had become a lesson for the galaxy. Jump sequence initiated. Space folded once more. The cadet ships vanished. Days later above Earth, crowds gathered, not in celebration, but in respect. The returning vessels entered orbit damaged but proud. Families watched quietly from below. The president addressed the world with few words. Today, our young officers proved something important. Humanity does not wait to grow strong. We train strong. The message spread across interstellar networks. Other species replayed the battle again and again. An alien army had mocked human cadets and had raised the white flag. But the most powerful message was not surrender. It was discipline. Human officers had shown restraint. They had helped the defeated. They had defended without cruelty. And that combination made them more dangerous than any weapon. In a quiet moment inside the Academy Hall, Arya stood before the other newly commissioned officers. Their uniforms now carried full rank insignia. She spoke softly. We were tested without warning. We faced fear, and we chose control. The others nodded. They understood. This would not be the last time. Far across the galaxy, whispers began. Do not provoke Earth. Do not test their trainees. Do not mistake youth for weakness. Because somewhere in the void, human students were always training. And if students could force an alien army to surrender, the galaxy could only imagine what humanity would do when it was not just an exercise,